Drennan soft feed catapults used to have just 2 in the range. We've now extended that range to 3 catapults. We've got a catapult for 20 to 30 metres, a catapult for 30 to 40 metres, and now a catapult also for 40 to 50 metres. We've expanded the range so you can use each catapult to fire the distance that you want the ball of ground bait to travel. I tend to make the balls of ground bait all the same size. So each time you use a catapult, if it's pulled to full stretch, and this is what I tend to do, I use the catapult at full stretch, the ball of ground bait travels the distance the same every time. Very, very simple, as long as you extend that catapult to its full stretch. Holding the actual pouch, I tend to hold with just the finger and the thumb, so you can release very, very easily the catapult. If you hook onto that pouch, you can't release that pouch quickly enough. The ball of ground bait has also got to sit in the pouch correctly. It doesn't want to be falling out, so you need to hold the catapult at the right angle to keep that ball of ground bait in the pouch. These pouches I've used now for many, many years, and they are fantastic for cradling the ball of ground bait. I tend not to use an actual ball. What I do, I make the ball of ground bait slightly barrel shaped. As long as that ball of ground bait is the same size every time, it travels the full distance that the catapult allows it. The catapult frame needs to be very strong. If you have any flex in the actual frame, the catapult doesn't work right. These frames are extremely strong and you get no movement whatsoever in them. I've used these catapults loads of times at World Championships when I've been fishing all week using the catapult at a certain distance. But once you arrive on the bank, it's not so easy to use a catapult in the same way as what I'd use at a World Championships. With these catapults, if you pick the catapults that's the right strength to travel the distance you want, and you introduce the ground bait by pulling the catapult to the full stretch, fire the ball of ground bait to a marker on the opposite bank that you pick out, you can fire very accurately all at one go with the amount of feed you want to introduce at the start of the session. What I tend to do then is hold just 2 or 3 balls of ground bait back, and once I've introduced the initial amount of feed, I pick up either a feeder or a waggler, whatever I'm intending to fish at this distance, and cast it out to where that last ball of ground bait landed. To make sure that this is correct, then I can introduce the last 2 or 3 balls of ground bait, and either the float will be right in among the feed, or where you've plopped the feeder in, you'll be able to see the ring and drop the ground bait right on top of the feeder. This makes feeding very, very easy at the start of a session. And also, if you want to reintroduce ground bait during the session, as long as you make that ball of ground bait the same size every time, it'll travel the distance you want. What I've started doing over the last couple of years is actually measuring out the amount of ground bait to make the ball with. So I get a Drennan pot, cut it to the right size that I want, and I tip the amount of ground bait with the baiting into my hand to make the barrel shaped ball to fit the pouch. By making every ball the same size, once you stretch that catapult to its maximum, that ball of ground bait will travel exactly the same every time. So you can feed very accurately at any distance with each of these 3 catapults.